I get a Camelback, Jim, because this is what keeps me hydrated and going to the bathroom every
I like to be elegant, so I like to just use a glass.
It's a cute glass there.
Welcome to the Digital Marketing Secrets Show with Carlos A. Vasquez, where we share actionable strategies and tactics to grow businesses, no matter what industry you're in. Now your host, Carlos A. Vasquez.
I have to start recording already, especially with you, bro. Hold on a second. So, what's up, Jimmy Jam?
Present. Is this Carlos?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I just wanted to turn on the recording. I wanted to record you specifically because you are the rapid action plan business coach. You are the guy that gets the ball rolling, gets the conversation started, and gives people clarity as far as how they're going to get started with basically working with us on the team. And despite that, the whole Miami marketer thing, I mean, I want also people to learn more about you, man. So I'm glad you decided to take the plunge and do this first recording. You're the first one on the team to make this recording, man.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited. I wanted to put a face to the name. I wanted to really talk a lot more about why I'm doing this, why I'm confident in doing these rapid action plans and build it too, because it's all about relatability. And you really want to work with somebody in anything you do, whether you're learning how to do your marketing, learning how to dance, maybe you have somebody who's a shopper for you or something, someone who actually loves the subject matter and loves doing it. You know, when there's a love for something, people just do it better. And because it's not about the money or the recognition. It's something about whenever we enjoy anything, or especially if it's something that we feel like it helps us, and we think that someone else is, there's that common ground and it helps them too, you just always get a better job. Like I'll do a better job doing this for people who really, really need it, and people who are just like, maybe I just have an idea. Either way, you get an awesome job done because it's something that I really care about, and it actually is like made my career more enjoyable. Just the whole process of almost an automation. First
of all, here at Miami Marketer, AirPods are not a requirement. It just happens to be that Jimmy and I are wearing our AirPods. He got his for, was it Valentine's Day?
Yeah, it's a Valentine's Day.
However, I did give Jimmy Jam a headset that he just does not want to wear at all. He hates the whole phone call, marketing. Yeah, that one. I spent some money on that one. I bought it for the entire team because one time he didn't realize that there was so much echo in the background, and my passive aggressive self said, you know what, I'm gonna buy this for everyone else. Actually, it was Charlene that she was the one that really triggered me to get this for everyone. So no, but AirPods not a requirement. However, you should probably get a Camelback, Jim, because this is what keeps me hydrated and going to the bathroom every
I like to be elegant, so I like to just use a glass.
It's a cute glass there. Is that an iWatch there too?
Absolutely.
Dude, you're like all Apple.
All Apple. MacBook. My iPhone.
I got a Samsung over here. I mean, I got a real phone. I love Mac, but when it comes to phones, I gotta just stick to the Samsung.
Yeah, so you can just hear your phone whistle all day.
Oh yeah, you're the one going bing bing. You're you know what?
Yeah, that's the airmail sound. It is pretty obnoxious, isn't it?
We're both pretty bad, man. So, all right, man. Well, I wanted to bring you on board because I wanted to not only record this episode for the podcast, I also wanted to put a face to the name, to the voice. And I wanted to learn more about your story. I want everyone else who's watching or listening to learn more about your story. And then a little bit of how you, whenever you work with someone, whether it's with us at the Miami Marketer House or anyone else, want to learn how, what your process is like, so people can kind of swipe that idea and then do it off on their own. So, so as of right now, you're the one of the many things that you do, and I say many things. I want people to know about your salsa classes and your gym, cycling. I don't know where you have the time, man. So, I want everyone to know more about you, and I want them to just get the ball rolling. So first of all, you're not in your 20s, although you look like you're in your 20s.
Yeah. Oh, they're great. I want to chalk it up to good genetics, but I will. How about this? I'll leave it at good nutrition or good-ish nutrition, and just my whole thing about life is my mantra is never not having fun. Like as soon as I'm having fun, as soon as I'm done having fun with it, I'm done with it. I always want to make sure that I'm enjoying everything. I think I got from Earl Nightingale, life is supposed to be a daring adventure or nothing at all. So that's a big thing is I've always, from my childhood, being a very creative and entertaining type, very extroverted type A, if you haven't told, if you can't tell. And I just have a lot of interest. It really, really comes from my mother. So she was a teacher. I've seen my mother change career maybe 5 times in my life. And I'm 33 years old actually. And it is whatever my interests were, I always have just pursued it on some level. And, they say some people like us are like a jack of all trades or a master of none. And I have found like, you know what? That used to kind of get to me when I was trying to figure out later, like in college and after college, like I got to be one thing, I got to figure it out. Even though deep inside I'm like, that works for some people. It's kind of like a gift and a curse. It's like their gift is that they got one thing and they need to do it really, really well, and they got nothing. But then I was like, well, that must be a curse to me because as I'm good at a lot of different things, but it actually turned out to build a really, really awesome autobiography, and I'm really available to be used in a lot of different roles and places. Keeps me busy, engaged, and entertained. And actually, I find that I help more people by being able to help people in different ways. For example, I've been teaching ballroom Latin dance and swing since I was 15 years old. That was my high school job. My other friends in high school, they're working at Burger King and CC's Pizza, and I'm leaving school in my little beat up Nissan, and I'm going to teach ballroom dance lessons. And that's where I learned to create rapport and nurture in a very positive and effective way people who are older and more established and are senior to me, where my boss at that time taught me, he said, forget about the fact that you're in high school. This surgeon and this lawyer, they are the premier person in their space, but you're putty in their hands because you're the expert. They're learning something from you. That is a really powerful position to really add something that person really needs in their life and they can't do for themselves because they've spent all their energy becoming the expert in somewhere else. And so just all the different things that I was always good at. So that just spun off to a lot of different things, being able to dance and teach people and command the attention of big groups, because you teach private lessons, you teach small groups and large groups, to being entertaining. You got to be entertaining to do that. So then you have competitions and showcase. So then that just went all through. I went to a health science and engineering magnet high school after I went to secular prep school all the way from my younger years into high school. And so then it's really crazy. I went to college for biochem. I wanted to be a cosmetic surgeon. And that was actually my initial path. And same thing, I realized, like, dude, these kids that are in my health science programs in college and university, where they had a really, really big reason why this was their number one thing and they really wanted to go through it. And I get to organic chemistry and microbiology and immunology, and I'm like, I am not having fun with this thing, man. And I hung out with a lot of the kids in the dance program and in the business school. And I had an interest in marketing, but I didn't want to just be like another. Back then, some bad guidance counselor got in my head and said, man, MBAs or business majors are a dime a dozen. You want to do something special. I'm like, man, I'm doing something special, man. And I hate it. And but then after college, I go back to Georgia where my parents were at the time and where the dance studio was. And I spent all my 20s managing the dang dance studio where I started, and then got into competition and showcase dancing. So then that actually built up more ability to do a whole lot more. Trying to not make it too long, but just connect all the dots. I left that later on when I was like 25 and worked in healthcare administration. And so then that was one thing where I took all that I learned, and then I figured out that systems and training could be translated from the entertainment world to actually the business world. So then when there was a time when there was electronic health records came out, when we were taking paper charting in the healthcare industry and turning into systems to electronic systems, learning how to do implementation projects and training people how to use it, people who have been clinicians, nurses and doctors, who they have one way of doing things, being able to relate to them with this young kid, trying to teach them something new that some of them are really frightened by and some are really resistant to, was able to get into that. So that was kind of leading into so much more. The fun stuff, I was in California, in Louisiana, and New Orleans. I was an MC on Bourbon Street. That was like the fun stuff. So being able to just entertain and command a room in a positive way, take what people really, really want, pure enjoyment, and create that thing. Now I'm here in Miami, and then I got into sales and marketing. All of that stuff, all of, being a jack of all those trades brought me to this moment. From that when I was just purely into, I was in another marketing firm for about 3.5 years before I got in with the Miami marketer team. And it's like all that, being able to help and train and speak to people in their language, learn systems and implement them and then duplicate them, brought us to where we are here.
That's a good story. I love how you brought it full circle, man. And it sounds like to me you managed to monetize your ADD. That's what it sounds like to me. You figured out how to turn something that seems like it's distracting into a positive, because that's over here. Our clients, we don't have one specific type of client. We have clients in all different areas. So you got to experience stuff from the beginning to the middle and to the growth stages, and which is one of the reasons why I was honored to bring you on board, because that type of experience, you just can't get it anywhere else. And you had the courage to actually jump out and try all these different things. And as the rapid action coach, as the guy that sets everyone into motion, it's a lot easier for people to understand why you can give them that, hey, let's stop focusing on everything you don't need to focus on. And this is what you need to focus on, because everything else is a rabbit hole. Everything else is just going to take – it's a shiny object syndrome. You're going to be taken from here to there, from up to down. And then at the end of the day, you end up having all these unfinished projects and you never actually get started. So not only were you able to have that experience, but you're able to speak in a language where you don't sound like a total geek. You actually speak English. And I was like, okay, I'm a geek. I love all this stuff, but I get lost. I get lost into my little world of marketing automation. And you work with me, so you deal with this every day. That you are able to capture a hard to understand topic or an overwhelming topic, and then bridge the gap between English. So it's like you were able to make that connection. Or Spanish, right? I mean, they call you Jimmy Salserito. So Spanish, teaching salsa is not easy. I mean, dancing salsa has to come natural, but it is a teachable skill. And it's fact
100% teachable.
But you know what? I'm Puerto Rican, but I still don't dance salsa, because it's like, to me, it's like I can't get it. I got the rhythm. I can play drums. I can do the whole process. But when it comes to dancing, the moment I start thinking of the process, I just have two left feet. And you're able to teach in my opinion, it's a complicated thing to someone that doesn't know how to do it. So basically, I know you could teach me, and I gotta jump on that bandwagon ASAP, because
it's because we haven't hung out enough outside of the computer stuff. But you know what? You're absolutely right. It actually is. And I'll say this as a person where I teach it to everybody. I've got some people who have been some straight waffle stompers and turned out to be the biggest Rico Suaves you've ever seen in your life. Ladies who felt so unconfident that I can't dance, and now they just feel like the biggest divas they always knew that they were. And salsa is very complicated, and it's great that I've had that experience to be able to bring it to a place that's manageable, so it can actually be enjoyable to do. Because for the exact same reasons, people want to be able to dance, whether they want a new thing to try, they want to teach people, or they want to build their confidence, or just undo a story that someone says you can't dance. Well, that's confidence breaking, or you can't have your own business. That's confidence breaking, because funnels and automations are very, very complicated. But they are manageable. They are able to be broken down and be manageable, and that's what we do as this Miami marketer team. Kind of like what I just told you earlier today. Like I said, there was a point where I've done a lot of calls, we've worked on some things, and some things were a little bit of disconnect. You think, oh, it should be there. Well, you hit what's called a breakthrough point. That was like a pitch that we had, in my old studios. Like, you know what? After so long, X amount of lessons, you're going to hit what we call the breakthrough point, and everything that you've heard in practice is just going to click.